Beautiful.
Yep.
All right, let's get nice. Let's get right into it. If you want, we'll take turns, dude. You want to take on Tier A?
Yeah, this is pretty easy, Molly, for me. Yep.
Pretty easy for me too. I'm taking Molly. It's going to be small, so Katie Simmers and Joanne DeFay may have a good run at it. That's the only thing. But these ladies all surf small waves really well. It's just if you do get a bump towards a finals day, I think Molly stands a better chance. So I'll take Molly, and in Tier B, let's pull all of them up here. This one's difficult, dude. I already know who I'm going to pick. Yes, we're all taking Molly, by the way. Caroline Marks and Brisa Hennessy are my picks, although I love Betty Lou here, and I think Tati has a chance.
Not that anybody cares, but I'm picking Katie, just for the record. So.
Oh, you're picking Katie in Tier A. I should have asked you. Heidi's getting in.
Fine, I know.
Heidi's coming in hot. Heidi's coming in hot with Katie, and I would just say that Heidi is beating, I think, both of us, T-Bone. And just
probably
just to throw that out there. It's been
it's not hard. That's for sure.
It's been a shocker, bro. It really has. So let me pick. I'm gonna pick Caroline, and I'm gonna pick. God, I might rethink Brisa because I like it a little more punchy, but I'm gonna take Brisa. I think she's surfing great. And by the way, at this moment, Molly is my power surfer, but I may change that up and go with someone else. And that someone else may be coming. What do you think, T-Bone? Who you taking in Tier B? Let me pull that back up.
I'm going for a couple of goofy footers, probably the more stronger girls, even though forecast is not going to be big, but there's always a bump or two.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Caroline Marks can sort of, she's got enough power to navigate through those bumps and lumps. And, obviously she's got a pretty good backhand. I mean, she's proven that. And I'm going Tatiana. I think you even talked me into getting on the Tati train. I think Tati obviously won. I can't remember what year it was, but I'm going Tatiana as well, mate. Two goofies in my Tier B.
Nice. Goofy seemed to be the flavor of the month on the backhand, and well deserved, I might add. So I may switch to Tati. We'll see. But it was 2021, and she was bashing the backhand and landing that last hit. So there you go. And I really liked how you said it's because it's going to be bumpy. And a lot of you may forget about that or have not surfed there and seen that place. It's a chattery wave when you take off, especially into that right. And I had somebody, by the way, T-Bone, I had someone in the comments on my latest video go, hey, look, dude, the left is kind of the wave for those for those intermediate to advanced surfers, not the pros, to get points. But the left is really what Margaret Main Break is about. Competitively, though, you need to go on that right to get the hits and the end section. Your thoughts on that?
I mean, from a spectator's point of view, the right is a lot more entertaining to watch. Like you say, it's where all the action happens. It's a lot more exciting. The left, I mean, if it's 25 foot and Tommy Curran's riding a left into the river mouth, that's always good to watch. If you're going left at Margaret River, you're probably riding an 8-foot board and wearing a gaff helmet. But no, all respect to everyone who surfs main break, but to me, I wouldn't watch it for the lefts. Put it this way.
Yeah. I think it's pretty damn entertaining when it's on. Heidi, your Tier B picks while I pull up
Oh, I haven't even, you guys, I'm lame. I haven't started my fantasy picks yet.
That's
Sorry.
okay. We're, you know,
I'm
the
still
whole
thinking about
world,
bells. No.
the whole world is wondering.
No, you're not. I just had to chime in about Katie because they were saying everyone's for Molly and love me some Molly, but I don't know. I'm picking Katie every time lately. I don't know.
Yeah, I see some people
Working
backing
out.
you. I see people backing you in the chat.
Yeah.
WCell, I'm going to read this. I see it. WCell format is terrible. The cut is in the middle of the year. It's total nonsense. Things change, and the question is why? Short money, give me more excitement. Why? So I wanted to approach this before when we were talking about the cut, and I'm just going to throw this in the middle of the picks for a second and say that I don't love the cut, but I do love T-Bone, tell me if you agree with this or not, but it's a lot easier to do your picks and it's a lot easier to watch when it's a smaller field. And I just wish it was a slightly smaller field where the men and women have the same amount of surfers in the highest elite level. And maybe you have a CS plus that is the Bell's wave and those kind of waves. And then the highest elite level is some of your Lance's right, your macaronis, some of your other like really entertaining professional surfing waves. I'm going to call the new CEO and offer up that advice.
Mate, yeah, God. Hey, for starters, women should have an equal amount of men's on tour. Well, actually, the men's should be reduced, and the women should be the same. It's too rough. The women, that is so rough on the amount of spots they offer. But I agree, mate. I mean, bring back the fantasy tour. Just let's reduce the field and really pick the eyes out of it and be able to run an event in a couple of days, you know, and just in the premium surf. So I hope this new CEO is a hardcore surf nerd, mate, because we need a frother to navigate the wazzle over the next few years.
For sure. And that is coming up, you guys. We're going to talk about the new CEO. Let's move on to TRC. Got some former champions. What's
Bingo.
that?
Bingo.
There's my potential power surfer, just in case you're wondering. But tell me who you're going to pick, T-Bone.
Well, now I actually just freshly picked Bronte McCauley. I did actually have Isabella Nichols, which has won it, Margs, a few years ago.
Yep.
But it's hard to go past Bronte, mate. Even you said it in your past video. She's been a semi-finalist, 2-3 times. So
yeah, the last three events here, she's been the semi-finalist. I mean, it's not like she's going to get worse. It's her home break. She's my pick for sure, and I think that she could end up power depending on where she is. And I think she's in Katie's heat in the opening round, which doesn't bode well. I think that was the other reason I was leaning towards Molly. But I think we sorted out the women's. Any other thoughts on that?
No, mate. No, let's hopefully Bronte goes deep into the event and we get a few points for TSC. 100%.
For sure. I need some points. Need some points. All right, so here we go. Tier A: Griffin, Ethan, John, Jake, Jack Robinson, Baron Mamiya, Kanoa Igarashi, and Cole Houshman. Anyone want to go Cole Houshman for back-to-back? I'm not that brave. Who do you pick?
Looking at the forecast, if it stays quite small, I did have John, but I've taken John out. I've got Griffin. I just think he's on a roll. He is on a roll, so it's hard to not pick Griffin.
I'm taking Griffin as well, by the way, you guys. And he is going to be power for me. Let's see what else we got here. and with the second pick it being small, I'm afraid to go Jack Robinson. I think if it was at the box, you would just put all your chips in and go with Jack Robinson.
100%.
I may still go with it makes me want to pick Kanoa Igarashi in a smaller surf, but Kanoa just hasn't had a lot of success here. I think he hasn't, and I look at the survival. I don't know if you play that yet, T-Bone, but in survival, you have to get passed around at 32. And I think he's flamed out like all but one of the last 3 years, which makes it, I don't know why. If it was bigger Barramamia makes sense to me. I almost want to pick Jake Marshall, but I'm going to go John.
Okay.
It's a strange pick, but he can surf small waves. He surfs Haleiwa in front of, not Haleiwa. He surfs Aukai Beach right in front of his house, which has that little like kind of shore dumpy sort of aspect to it. Who's your second tier A pick?
Hey, just if I go back to your comments about Kanoa, as you know, he's been coached by Jake the Snake Patterson this year, so he actually has improved this year, you know, compared to where he was sitting last year. I ain't going to pick Kanoa, even though but I can't believe you didn't throw Ethan Ewing into your last conversation about your tier A. I mean, it's hard to go past the one of the best surfers in the world or in the Wazzle. So you can't go past Ethan on the Margs rights, whether it's 1 foot or 6 foot.
I agree. Yeah. Now, see, I can't do this with you because you're talking me into Ethan now.
I'll pick Ethan.
I think this is a good choice, Heidi. I'm going to stay with John for now, but what's really going to happen is we're going to see how these matchups come together in the round of in the bracket, round of 32, in the brackets. And depending on the matchups, I'll, go in with a hand grenade and try to repick my team. I try to stick with who I have, but it's not always easy. So I do like that Ethan pick, and I can't believe I didn't talk about him on the video. I don't know. Sometimes I blank, dude. I'm 30 hours in, and I'm trying to like put a little image with the thing and the arrow, and it's a lot of work, bro.
You're doing an awesome job, mate. Don't worry.
Thank you. There's some good comments. Susie Hernandez, I'm going to pull this up. How boring is it to have someone win by an accumulation of points, and often the winner is already decided before the season ends? What other sport does that? So this is interesting. And this talks about the Final Four. I didn't plan to get into this, but Susie brings up a good point. And what other sport does this? I think a couple sports do it. I believe tennis does that with the French, the US, and Wimbledon are the big point places to get points, and then you win on an overall total. Maybe you can help me on that, T-Bone, but what's your thoughts on the WSL finals?
Oh, jeez. Well, first, let's take it away from Trestles. Sorry, mate.
Well, no, dude, I'm not offended by that at all. I've been saying that since season 2. It's like, wait, we're going back?
It should move around.
I think Matt Warshaw called it a hostage situation, which is which is spot on.
It is a hostage situation. I mean, it's actually forced certain people off tour. Like I think
absolutely.
Carissa Moore just thought, nah, I can't do this anymore. She's the best surfer all year, or a couple of years in a row, and
yeah.
And I think, it's good and it's bad, but I think they just need to spice up the location. Just going to Trestles, every year or last couple of years, need to make it a bit more exciting.
Let's say they do that, though. Are you still backing the finals?
Mate, I'm 50-50. Like, a part of me is, the best surfer wins the title, from a overall all season performance, but I quite like the drama. You need a little bit of drama in surfing, and the mid-season cut gives you that drama as a spectator. So it's it's like AFL football. You have the top 8 teams that make the final. Okay, you finish on top, but it doesn't mean that you win the premiership. So number 8 can come in and beat number 1. So, and it just makes it a crazy end to a season. It's whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, and I mean we have the same thing in our football and baseball, and it's often been characterized as the Americanization, the Super Bowling of surfing, and I get that, but there's other countries that do the same thing, and I don't mind a playoff so much. I enjoy the finals, or I would enjoy the finals. Let's say they get the boat. Remember that year they got the boat in the Mentawai Islands, and they were surfing all over the place, and that was the final, or that was a big event. And if that was the final, I mean, I would be stoked, man. If they were going to Greenbush and they were going to Lance's Right, that would be a dream. That would be amazing. And it's hard to get skunked out there, but maybe the Wassel could figure it out. But there's always waves to go to.
Yeah, there is. I'll just have one last thing on it. I feel like the season needs to end in Hawaii, though. I'm not sure about the start. I feel like all roads should lead to Hawaii. The birthplace of surfing. It's the testing ground. I still think, having at the start, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Just seems to build up the excitement factor heading to Hawaii at the end of the year.
Yeah, I have to say I like that. I'm 50-50 on this, T-Bone, and maybe some of the comments can tell us what your thoughts are on it. But and I hope you're not coming here for all the answers, because we don't have all the answers. But we have our takes, definitely have our takes. And I think that starting early gets us into better waves. It's more consistent that time of year. Having lived in Hawaii, I can tell you November, December, you can get a little bit skunked, or you just get, you can often get inconsistent swells. It hasn't happened this year, but it happens on occasion. And maybe you somehow figure out how to get the tour. The thing is, Christmas is in the way, but I don't know. Somebody's got to put together a tour. A lot of pressure on the new CEO. Let's move on to tier C. On tier B?
Tier B, mate.
Tier B, mate. I've got to scroll. This is so long. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Yeah, there we go. I got to scroll this for you to look at. I don't know if you need. So who's below Ian Gentile, which I don't think you're going to pick? Cade Matson, but also Seth Moniz. And Seth Moniz, why has he not done well here? I can't figure him out, man. And he's made the cut for the last couple years. And here he is, like.
Is he in Cutland? Or
he's in Cutland. So the cut line is Ian Gentile on the good side and Cade Matson on the bad side, right here. That's the current cut line.
Yeah.
If it ended today, but this thing's going to get bananas when the heat start, when they
100%.
start scoring points in the bracket round. And the thing that the matrix that DYL made for me is pretty conservative. It can tell you, what your surfer needs to do to guarantee that they pass. And Seth Moniz needs something big. Skate Army says Matt, Connor, Ramsey, and Gabriel. That's interesting. I like those picks. I copied a couple of them. What do you think, T-Bone? I know what my picks are. I'm going to throw one out there. I'm going to start with, who did I wait? I heard you mention him earlier. I'm actually going to take Crosby. I'm going to do one crazy
big
pick.
Cros. I'm
going Cros. Who's your first tier B pick?
Hey, just going back to Seth Moniz, if anyone's got some advice for him, I'm actually going down to the Trilogy New Wave premiere tomorrow in Margaret River. So hopefully we're going to catch up with Seth and Griffin and Ethan. So if you have any advice you want me to give Seth, Dave, let me know, mate.
I'm already getting in trouble with that with some locals over there. So tell you what, let me think about that.
No worries, mate.
I'll send you an email.
Yeah, do it. I'll say old Surf Dad reckons that you got to pull your finger out, but
that would be great.
No,
Hey,
yeah, I will.
Yeah, appreciate that. So you're gonna pick him then?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Then you have to give him advice. It's not fair.
That's easy. So my tier B, I'm going with Liam O'Brien, Lobby O'Brien. I can't remember where he got to last year. I think he got round 16. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dave. But yeah, Lobby O'Brien is my tier B. And I'm going Gabriel. I just think he'll be, there'll be fire coming out of his nostrils.
Couldn't agree more.
He is defending champion. But hey, throw in a great white spotting, he might just pack his bags and leave. So you never know.
Oh man, you're gonna bring up why are you bringing up old shit? For those that don't know, he was one who was pretty vocal, as he is vocal, and I appreciate him for that. But he was pretty vocal about getting the hell out of Margaret River when, and rightfully so, a whale died down the beach, T-Bone, and great whites were feasting on it and swimming through the lineup to get there to the buffet. And there were quite a few sightings. So they ended that comp in Uluwatu, and William Cardosa won it.
The panda.
The panda won it. So yeah, that was solid. I'm taking Gabriel Medina as well. I think he's going to be pissed off. Who was your other? Liam O'Brien.
Yeah.
I did look it up. Round of 16 is where he went out.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty decent result for his first time in Margaret's. And I actually had him on my sheet. I kid you not. Here, can confirm. See right there. No. All right. There
you go.
I scratched him out, mate. I cut him for Crosby, but I could change my mind if he has a good result. I think it was a Heat matchup that scared me away.
Yeah.
But Ian Gentile is a good bet. And the comments say, and that's actually, I like this guy. He hasn't done as well as I thought he would. Remember at the end of last year, he was on fire, man.
Yeah, yeah. He's so smooth. I mean, I really enjoyed his surfing at J-Bay last year.
Yeah. And El Salvador. He loves him a nice, smooth right. He really shines in those conditions.
Yeah, well, he's not going to get a smooth right at Margaret's, but
well, take him to one of your secret waves, and maybe he can show Seth how to surf.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. Hey, my other two picks I've got to mention. I'm going Geordie Smith. The reason being is Geordie at a session not yesterday, day before, was basically getting every wave that was coming through. He probably got about 12, 13 waves in a space of a couple of hours. So he was dominating the free surfing session. So I'm throwing the big man in. I think he's got a little bit more fire in the belly this year. So Geordie, and my last one is Yago Dora. Yago Dora. Wow. Yago Dora is insane. I was watching his backhand last year at Margs. I think he needs a big result, and he's so dynamic on his backhand.
Yeah, I agree. I just haven't seen it as much this year as I did last year. I went into this year going, Yago's the guy. I think I even put a bet on him to get the top 5. I can't remember, but I kind of gave up on it.
You're a big Yago fan.
I know. I am a big Yago fan. It's just he's been letting me down a little bit lately. And the opposite of Yago, the opposite is the opposite of Geordie, going back to Geordie, is Matthew McGilvray. And the reason I say that is they're in the same heat. I'm going to take Matthew, and maybe we'll have a side bet on that one, T-Bone, and
we'll bet a few of these.
There you go. I'll send you a T-shirt this time. And then wait, go ahead.
I'll say I'll send you a 4-pack of Cheeky Monkey, mate, if you win.
Copy that. I am going to hold on. There's so many comments here. Kelly will win the event. That's epic. Skate Army. I always wanted to go to Perth Mint someday. I don't know what that is.
Hey, Dave, I'll quickly ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is Kelly coming here to win, or Kelly's just coming here just to have a bit of a holiday?
I think he's coming to have a holiday. I mean, I think he's expecting you and Adzi and Namu to carry him up the beach, right into the shed quarters, and have his final interview with you guys. That's got to happen. 500-1 odds, Kelly wins. That'd be a lot of money. I'm not picking Kelly. And you know what's funny is in Tier C, I hit the mouse and it clicked on these guys, and to take the piss, I left Kelly in there. But we're going to be changing that in just a moment. My last Tier B pick is going to be Idolo. Good numbers. I did go Gabriel and Idolo. I told you I might do that, and I did. And he's just too good here, dude. He's got good numbers, and he always gets you some points. And it's not always about, it is about how far they go, but it's always the points. It's also the points they get along the way that make it important. And Elo and Gabby tend to pick up a lot of those points. I don't know what I'm thinking with Crosby, and I'm going to leave that. And so tell me again. So I have Crosby, Matthew, Gabriel, and Elo. Tell me your 4 again.
I have Liam, Gabriel, Geordie, and Yago Dora.
God, that's solid, dude. I'm going to, after this is over, I'm going to change mine to that.
Just on Idolo, I think last year he actually had Jay Davies in his corner. So if it goes to the box, it might help him out. But let's see how he goes. We met him last year. Nice guy.
He is. He's great.
Obviously, pretty fiery competitor. Loves to win. You got to be in it to win it. So yeah, I just think he's a bit deflated. I just don't know if he can. I don't think he's going to climb himself out of it at Margaret River.
Who, Elo?
Elo, yeah. Yeah,
and now Elo's being coached by the Billabong team guy. I don't know if you know who Reynos Hayes is. He's a great dude. And I think he's like a kind of a Zen type of dude that's going to calm down Elo a little bit. And I already think it's helped him, but I want to compare this to back in the day. Elo was the flavor of the month of the year, and they loved his surfing, and he's kind of fallen out, and he's had to evolve. And now they're finding, Cole Houshman's hot right now with that backhand. So I don't know if that's a good comparison, but that's what I was thinking in my analysis of that situation. But I took Elo. Let's see what happens.
Sure.
Let's read this comment, and I'm going to move on to Tier C. What happened to this contest? Because as I remember in the past, nobody surfed the right, only left wave. Now no one surfs the left wave. If you choose Yago, if it was in the past with less, I would choose Yago in the past with less. You want to take that one?
Yeah. So what happened to this contest? Because I remember in the past nobody surfed. Yeah. Well, back in the first time I went down to Margaret River was in 86 when it was 20 foot. I think when it gets really big, back in the 80s and 90s, they were going left.
Yeah.
But, surfing's evolved, and they've always surfed the right, but for whatever reason, during contests, they were going left. But like we said before, the right's a lot more exciting. You can get a lot more, critical maneuvers in, and it's a pretty exciting end section where you see surfers basically slam the inside section and navigate through some really shallow chunks of rock.
Yeah, go look at my video. I did a close-up of it, and it's scary looking. And in terms of Yago, I think I love Yago's backhand as much as his front side airs and all of that as well. So I would not be doing justice if I didn't say that Bronte's dad, Dave McCauley, is a full-on legend over there and is a full-on legend anywhere. He was second place in the world, and I can't remember, it was in the 80s at some point, and did really well on the tour. And when I pulled some video for the 80s, that's in the video that I made, there's Dave McCauley. I should have put him in there. He's wearing a fluoro vest and a pink helmet or something.
Awesome.
And it's just awesome, dude. It was just right out of 1984 in the Go-Go's.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to tier C. And that is where I start with my apology. Should I start with my apology?
Yeah, what's your apology?
My apology is one Jacob Wilcox.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Made
I actually had a big note. Pick a bone with Dave. I got a big bone to pick with you, mate.
Well, did you see? I don't know if you saw this. He actually commented on the video, and in such a gentleman way. He's like, "Hey, dude, good breakdown. Yeah, we'll see." Like he was like, "We'll see if your shit's right." But look, I gave the guy props. He is a tube pig, but the thing is, like what I totally missed was the fact that I have the shot on the cover of my fantasy page is him just blasting a right hand like turn, and there's just this huge fan of spray coming off of it. And I should have probably held my tongue before I said something stupid, but that's just not my style, bro. Oh, T-Bone froze. No, he didn't.
Yeah.
It froze for a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, mate. You're here. Yep.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, Jacob, and I said to Jacob, I go, dude, I'm cheering for you. I do love his surfing. And I said, I'm going to be at the El Salvador event, and I hope to see you there, was what I said. I probably let him tell me I'm a fuckwit. I would love that, actually.
Nah.
But he's a good dude, man. And just the fact that he came in with class and said that on the comments. But OSD, are you going to El Salvador? I was keeping that under wraps. I was going to make that announcement in Tahiti, but why not? Let's make it here. I'm going to go. I'm going to be at the El Salvador event. I'm going to make a video there and shoot the surfers before the event and have some good footage for you guys so you can make choices based on surfing rather than two old curmudgeons talking about it.
Listen, we'll be down at the event. So I'm hoping Jacob Wilcox goes deep into the event, and when he does, I'm gonna ask him, what was your motivation for this event, Chipper? And he might even say, just that dude, old surf dad, just wrote me off in this video. So, no,
did I write him off? Maybe.
No, man. No, you were. No,
I think it was fair.
No, you were complimentary. I mean, yeah, I can't wait to see him get to Cloudbreak and Chopes.
Dude, that's where he needs to be. And he's been warming up this season. It's all new. I think the guy is going to be a top 10 surfer. He just needs the waves, man. It's let him down the last two comps, you know?
Yeah. And he also made a couple of silly mistakes in Hawaii as well. That he would have went deeper in both Pipe and Sunset. So he should, yeah.
So I'm gonna take Jacob Wilcox. No, it's gonna be small, dude. I'm taking Sammy Pupo.
Not bad pick.
And I'm gonna take. God, I wanted to take Callum Robson. Part of me wants to take Miguel Pupo and have the Pupo sweep, but I'm going to do something silly. God, he's going to surf against John. I want to pick George Pitar. I got to be honest. And somebody said George Pitar for my power surfer. I do want to pick George Pitar. Surfs great, and I've seen him in smaller ways, but I don't think he's well in the chatter. I am going to go Miguel Pupo and make it the Pupo sweep. and probably reselect, but I got a regular and a goofy out of that with the brothers. And just to let you know, I'm almost nearly 50-50 on the goofy regular split. How about you for Tier C?
It's a tough one. I mean, I'd love to. It'd be a privilege to put the goat's trotters on my shoulders and just take him up off the beach from his final serve. So, I mean, I reckon they should just have a heat out in the box for Kelly, regardless. But anyway, I'm not going Kelly. I'm going. I'm sticking with a local. I'm sticking with Jacob Wilcox.
Good on you, mate.
And I'm going to throw it out there. You didn't mention this one, but there's a young kid from Yellingup, Otis North.
Oh, yeah.
He's a great young surfer. He's a natural footer. He's quite a powerful young kid. He's 17, 18. A lot of success in state and national surfing. So this is a massive thing for young Otis. He beat, I think it was Jerome Forrest in the final, who made the trials last year. So
right, I remember him.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a plug because he's a local lad. So I'm going to pick Otis North.
Nice, dude. So you went with the West Oz contingent. I like it. Dude, I know nothing about Otis North. I can't wait to see him surf. I love kids on the rise, and that's why I was excited about George Pitar, because in my eyes, I thought that my survival league was over because he beat Ethan Ewing. Having looked back at it, I think Ethan Ewing got a couple of magic turns in there to turn the heat, but it's still like the closest thing you'll ever see. And there hasn't been a lot of talk about that, but I will say that the opposite of what Gabriel Medina did, which is not good or bad, but George Pitar said, yeah, he beat me. It was like he went out with full class, dude.
100%.
It's not going to serve him, especially being a wild card, to go, no, those judges ripped me off. Like, it was really cool the way he just goes, yeah, I had to look back at the footage and he beat me, which is a pretty cool thing to do. And he's like, I love Ethan surfing and I hope to be like him someday. It was neat. It was neat to see. Yeah. So anyway, dude, there's our picks. I hope that you out there got something out of that. Let us know who your power surfers are. Who was your power surfer in? By the way, I didn't get your power surfer in Tier A.
I'm going Ethan. I'm going Ethan. Ethan for sure.
Nice. I think that's a great pick, and I may jump on that train later on after I see it. Holly Heidi, who is your power surfer? I'll ask you that while I move to the next
I might
slide.
do Ethan too, as long as he doesn't end up in a heat where he just sits and waits for a wave the whole time. It doesn't seem like Margaret's is like that, but God, that killed me at Bell's. I was like, this is ridiculous.
That was a painful heat to watch because did we both have him as our power? I did.
I think I did too.
Yeah, that was. I don't know if you remember that, T-Bone. Ethan literally sat for
I did.
Like John
25 minutes, like John. It was. I think I mentioned at the top of the show.
Had those guys done more waves, they would have ended up in the finals. Like, that's the thing. That no wave thing is just not fair.
And there's the
part of surfing. You get a wave or you don't get a wave. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's the thing with surfing is there's luck, and there's so much luck involved, and that's why fantasy is so difficult because of the wind and the swell and the waves that come to people, and it's not all luck because there's those who stand out, but there's a lot of randomness to this game. So there's our WSL picks.